Kansas City Chiefs have not gave up 100 yards rushing since 2019 in the playoffs. That's easily the matchup I'm looking most forward to in Super Bowl 59. Saquon Barkley going up against the Kansas City Chiefs defense. That's the game, in my opinion. Top of the Top, episode 275, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute, or there's just an episode, saw some topics you may want to hear about, thank you for tuning in as well. Podcast available on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Also, like this video as well on YouTube, and subscribe to your preferred audio platform. Tell a friend or tell another friend, check out this show. All love is greatly, greatly appreciated. Hope everyone had a safe week, safe weekend. Do the same this upcoming week. Now, for the past 30 minutes, I'm so glad I'm able to give you guys this week episode. For the past 30 minutes, maybe for the past 45 minutes, I've been trying to figure out why the camera hasn't been working. Normally, the software I use, when I open up the software, the camera automatically pops up. But today, it just seemed like it didn't want to come up. I tried updating. I tried disconnecting, reconnecting the camera. I did everything possible. And when it comes to cameras and computers and microphones, everything can happen on any given day. And sometimes all you got to do is restart the computer. I restarted the computer and bam, the camera pops up, back working like normal. So I'm glad to give you guys this episode. But for the past 30, 45 minutes, I have been doing my best tech support and interpretation to get the camera working. So shout out to me for just restarting the computer. Nonetheless, a lot to get to this week. We got the Super Bowl matchup, Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I want to get to that. But also, I want to touch on real quick this past weekend in sports, mainly Saturday. It was a jam-packed Saturday night. First off, for us wrestling fans, we had the Royal Rumble event, about a 4.5-hour show. It started early, though, at 6 o'clock. That's a good thing. So it was over with about 10:20, 10:30. Nonetheless, it was about a 4-hour show. Tag team titles, DIY retained against the Motor City Machine Gun, best 2 out of 3 falls match. Cody Rhodes retained the undisputed title against Kevin Owens in the ladder match. That was a great ending. Shout out to Hardcore Holly, that Alabama Slam never gets old. We'll see what happens now. It's looking like maybe we have something with Cody and Sami Zayn leading into Elimination Chamber. And for the Royal Rumble matches, for the women's, my prediction was right. Charlotte Flair won, so now we'll see if she goes up against Tiffany Stratton or Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. You can't go wrong with either, and I'll circle back around that, probably around Elimination Chamber leading up to WrestleMania, of course. And perhaps the biggest shock of the night, the men's Royal Rumble match, Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble match by eliminating John Cena at the end. Definitely for a lot of fans, a head-scratching decision. I know for me, definitely a head-scratching decision. I just came on here last week and said just in ring. Yeah, you got the best entrance. Yeah, your merchandise is selling. The end of the day, the bell has to ring. You know what I'm saying? And Jey, it seems as if he's going up against Gunther at Mania. Definitely a lot of fans are saying, okay, the ending is pretty much solidified, so how are you going to make us intrigued in this story leading up to WrestleMania when Jey Uso in-ring ability we just don't care about? You know what I'm saying? That's just speaking for me personally. Like, in-ring, I just don't see it. It is what it is. We'll figure out where it goes within the next few weeks leading up to WrestleMania in April. So that happened. And then maybe 45 minutes to an hour after that, after all the discussion against the wrestling community and all that, we had a blockbuster NBA trade. Luka and the Lakers are now one. The Lakers have traded Anthony Davis to Dallas. Dallas traded Luka to the Lakers. Blockbuster trade. In my opinion, as of right now, because I think both AD and Luka are hurt. But I know AD went to the Lakers office and was like, can we get another big man? Let me go back to the power forward position, and you guys bring in a center. They took him to the American Airlines Center in Dallas instead, and bringing Luka over, who's not going to play defense, ball heavy, teaming him up with LeBron. We should see how that goes. But in Dallas now, if Anthony Davis can get healthy, you got Kyrie, Clay, Anthony Davis. They got the squad over there in Dallas as well. We'll see how it play out. But nonetheless, Saturday night is a great example of why we love sports. That's what I came off with from Saturday night. Whether we agree with decisions or not, this is why we love sports. And what better way to lead into Super Bowl weekend with a crazy weekend in the NBA and in wrestling. So like I said, this week I'm focusing on Super Bowl 59, Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. A few things I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about the road to the Super Bowl for both teams, regular season, postseason. Also, the keys to victory for both teams in the Super Bowl. And lastly, what a win would mean for both teams. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going for 3 straight. They're 4th, I want to say, since 2020, if I'm not mistaken. And also the Philadelphia Eagles trying to get revenge on a couple years ago when they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's get into it. Super Bowl 59 breakdown. Let's talk about it. So like I said, first I'm starting off with each team road to the Super Bowl. And let's start with the Kansas City Chiefs. Regular season, 15-2. Their first loss didn't come until week 10 against, oddly enough, the Buffalo Bills, the team they beat in the AFC Championship game to advance to a 3rd straight Super Bowl. And the crazy thing about their regular season, the Kansas City Chiefs, they won about 10 games less than a touchdown. So that was the main story for most of the regular season in terms of talk shows. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs, they were undefeated for a good period of time throughout the regular season, but we saw the holes in the team, which, brought on the question, is this the team that's prepared to win a 3rd straight Super Bowl? Can they even get to a 3rd straight Super Bowl by the way they've been playing throughout the regular season? But nonetheless, they were winning the games. Like, at the end of the day, I don't care if it's about 1 point, 21 points, 50 points. A win is a win, and you do better each week to keep that momentum going. And that's what the Chiefs did for the majority of the season. Patrick Mahomes, he made the best of the situation, had some injuries. Pacheco, Hollywood Brown was hurt as well. They had some receivers out, offensive line, defense, but they made the best of the situation. Travis Kelce has been low-key for most of the season. I think against the Bills and the AFC Championship, I think they said he had him and Patrick Mahomes had their longest connection of the season. So Travis Kelce, he showed up when the time to show up. I mean, you go quiet for most of the regular season, but in the playoffs, when it's time to step up, you make plays, you're not going to really be upset about that. He helped his team get to the Super Bowl yet again. And like I said, they defeated the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. And to be honest with y'all, when they got up by 3 points, with I believe about 2 minutes left on the clock, I knew what the deal was. I knew it was going to be a wrap. It just, when you go up against the Chiefs in the playoffs and you at Arrowhead, you got to beat those guys. You can't put it in the hands of the ref. You can't put it in the hands of a 4th down conversion. You got to beat these guys from quarter 1 to quarter 4. Whenever it's a 10-point lead, anything lower than a 10-point lead, you at odds are probably losing against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to find a way to get a field goal or a touchdown. That's just what we come to know from the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Chiefs, like I said, they advanced to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, regular season 14-3, easily the biggest move of the offseason. They acquired Saquon Barkley. Easily his best season so far in the NFL after being held captive by the New York Giants all these years. Over 2,000 yards rush. Almost had the record, but he sat out the last game. But over 2,000 yards rushing, obviously the key to their offense this season. The Jalen Hurts experiment. He's looking to acquire his daughters. And I didn't know this until I saw a chart. They said since 2016, I want to say maybe since college in 2016 till now in the NFL, I think they say each year he's had a different offensive coordinator. So he's never had a stable offense to work with. He just been each year something different. He got to learn something different, new players, new coaches, but he's made the best of the situation. 2 Super Bowls in about 3 years for Jalen Hurts, I believe. He's making the best, so he's definitely looking to quiet his doubters. The team all around, though, like I said, last year, you can feel the hostility. The head coach, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, it just looked You see their facial expression, their body language on the sideline. Obviously, all wasn't well after going to the Super Bowl the year before. But Saquon Barkley coming in just changed the whole dynamic of the team, charisma and everything going along with that. Of course, we had the situation with A.J. Brown on the sideline reading the book and all that good stuff. But it did lead to that author getting paid because a lot of people have been buying that book. A.J. Brown was reading on the sideline during that game. So shout out to the author of that book. And shout out to A.J. Brown for really giving that book a plug and just telling people, yeah, this is the book I was reading. I wasn't reading like a newspaper or nothing. This is the book that helped me calm down during tense situations. So shout out to that. But all around, he has a squad to work with in terms of Jalen Hurts. Like I said, of course, you got Saquon Barkley, 2,000-yard rusher. You got A.J. Brown, 1,000-yard receiver. You got Devontae Smith. You got Dallas, tight end as well. What can they do to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl? They had a great showing against the Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship, about 4 turnovers. Special teams and defense caused about 4 turnovers. Their defense looked great. I know for a minute it was a close game, and I looked back up, and Philadelphia pretty much ran away with the game. I was like, well, damn, that's crazy. Because I was on the side of, and y'all know me, I was on the side of I want to see somebody new in the Super Bowl. I said it during the preseason. I said, when the regular season, the goal of the AFC is to stop the Kansas City Chiefs from getting to the Super Bowl, and the goal for the NFC is to stop the Eagles or the 49ers getting to the Super Bowl. And obviously that's not the case. This is a rematch from Super Bowl 57. It is what it is. It is what I know a lot of people are not happy with this Super Bowl matchup. The teams got to go out there and play. The teams got to go out there and play. You got to stop the main guys from getting back to the promised land. That's the whole goal of the regular season, and that's definitely the goal of the playoffs. You got to stop the champs from getting there. It is what it is. Kansas City Chiefs back for a 3rd straight time. Philadelphia Eagles back 2nd time in 3 years. It is what it is. Now, keys to victory for both teams. This is very intriguing to me. I know we seen this matchup a couple years ago. It was a very close game, but I think the addition of Saquon Barkley changes things, and I think there is pressure with the Kansas City Chiefs to win 3 straight. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. Nobody has done it in the NFL. I thought in the mid-2000s, I always say I forgot Brady didn't do it. I think he won 2, if I'm not mistaken. Then he didn't win the next year, but he won the year after that, I believe. But I always thought it was 3 straight, but it wasn't. So it's hard to do. Can we see it for the first time? I'm not mad at it. But I'll say my prediction for later. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, keys to victory. How effective will their run game be? You got Pacheco back in the backfield. Can Patrick Mahomes make plays with hit legs as well? How effective will the run game be? We know he can make the best of the situation with the receivers and the running backs catching ball. He can make the best of it, but with that Philadelphia defense, how effective will the run game be? Will they be just pass heavy? We'll see how it goes. Also, will the Kansas City Chiefs receivers be able to get space dealing with the Philadelphia Eagles secondary? You got D-Hop. First Super Bowl for him in his 12-year career. You got Xavier Worthy, speed demon. You got Juju still out there. You got Hollywood Brown coming back from injury. And like I said before, Travis Kelce, even though he's been quiet for most of the season, he came alive in the AFC Championship, but you always know Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, they can make something happen with just them 3 alone. They can make something happen. Of course, you got the running backs as well, like I said before, coming out the backfield, catching passes as well. But that Philadelphia secondary, can they contain the Chiefs receivers? I'm looking for D-Hop to go crazy. First Super Bowl in 12 years. He's been held captive in his career by the Texans, numerous teams. I like to see D-Hop have a very good Super Bowl. I will say that. And like Xavier Worthy, like I said, speed demon. What can y'all do with him? Screen passes probably, the deep ball, just to get things going early. That'd be very interesting. And like I said, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, they're going to cook up something. You can best believe that. They're going to cook up something. Now let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs defense. We got Steve Spagnuolo, Kansas City Chiefs defensive coordinator, coming up with schemes to slow down Saquon Barkley. First year in Philadelphia, 2,000-yard rusher. The Kansas City Chiefs have not gave up 100 yards rushing since 2019 in the playoffs. That's easily the matchup I'm looking most forward to in Super Bowl 59. Saquon Barkley going up against the Kansas City Chiefs defense. That's the game, in my opinion. That's the game. If I'm thinking about the Chiefs scheme, it really comes up to two things. Are you going to let Saquon Barkley beat you, or are you going to let Jalen Hurts beat you? We've seen what Saquon Barkley can do. He can take one for about 70 yards to the house. You got to contain him. If your main thing has been since 2019, we're not giving up over 100 rushing yards, you got to do that with Saquon Barkley. You got to hold him to about 60, 70. He's going to get his. You just got to contain him and let Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert make those guys beat you. But Saquon, if you allow Philadelphia to have a balanced offense with Saquon and Jalen Hurts get his confidence going, oh, it's going to be a long day for the Chiefs. It's easier than it sounds for both sides. It's easier to say, oh, we're going to stop Saquon Barkley and let Jalen Hurts beat us. It's easy for the Eagles to say, we're just going to stick with Saquon. Do what works for you. If I'm the Eagles, I'm saying Saquon is the reason why our offense is balanced. Our offense is running very smoothly all season. If I'm going to go down swinging, I'm going down with my identity. Don't go away from your identity. Because if you got Saquon running all season, that opened up things for Jalen Hurts in the passing game and allowing him to get some rushing yards as well. Do that in the Super Bowl. Do not stray away from that. Do not say, oh, we're gonna trick them to think Saquon doing this. We're gonna give Saquon 10 to 12 carries. No. Stay with Saquon. If you going down swinging, go down swinging as you. I always believe in that. Don't shy away from who you are. Don't shy away from what got you to the promised land. So Saquon, he probably have 20 carries, more than 20 carries probably. You got to go down as you. And that opened things up for Jalen Hurts. Whether Saquon is getting averaging 8 yards rushing, 10 yards rushing, that still opened up things because they still looking at that threat of Saquon Barkley. He's still a threat regardless. So that's the matchup I'm looking forward to the most, Saquon Barkley and the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Now let's go to the Eagles. Like I said, stay with your identity and trust Jalen Hurts. Trust Jalen Hurts. Like I said before, his main goal is to quiet his doubters. Trust him. And Jalen Hurts, stay confident. Don't get discouraged. You got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You got guys around you that can make plays. Trust your teammates. Offensive line, block. Jalen Hurts, if you see a hole, take it. We seen what Steve Spagnuolo can come up with schemes for blitz and all that, secondary coverage. We seen that with Josh Allen. But remain confident. Make sure you're watching game film. You got Kellen Moore, who's rumored, I think they said win or lose, he's probably going to get the Saints head coaching position, but they can't really have discussions until after the Super Bowl. So we'll see what Kellen Moore come up with in the offensive coordinator position for the Philadelphia Eagles as well. Defense, Philadelphia Eagles defense. You know who you're going up against. Patrick Mahomes. You know he can make plays happen. You know he can make some Mahomes magic come out his back pocket. Maintain. Don't take no crazy blitz. Cause you leave somebody open. Xavier Worthy, he the fastest man in the league. So if Pat Mahomes see that blitz coming, you know he gonna call that audible. Hey Xavier, they'll do a street route. I'm just gonna throw the ball up. You go up and catch it. You run down the field and catch it. I'm looking forward to these matchups. I know we seen it a couple years ago, but I think it's a different dynamic this year than it was a few years ago. Just different players, different things hanging up in the rafters for both teams to go and grab. History could be made. Killing, spoiling parties can be made with this matchup. I'm looking forward to it. And for both teams, no dumb penalties. No dumb penalties for both teams. That can easily cost you the game. Whether it's the first quarter, second quarter, third, fourth, dumb penalties can cost you the game. Now let's talk about the significance of a win for both teams. Kansas City Chiefs are going for 3 straight Super Bowls. History. Solidified dynasty. Can they make it happen? Philadelphia Eagles. All the turmoil they had within the past few years. Is Jalen Hurts the guy? The Saquon Barkley pickup? Nick Sirianni is head coach. The Eagles fan base, the most arrogant fan base in the NFL easily. I saw a video over the weekend from the Washington game. They arguing with Wale, who's a Washington fan. I was like, damn. One, why is Wale just among the Philadelphia Eagles crowd like that? Because we know how the Philadelphia Eagles crowd can be, but they damn near about to fight Wale. I was like, well, damn. Now, in terms of predictions, I don't have a dog in the fight. So on one end, I wouldn't mind seeing Kansas City make history. Getting 3 straight. We never seen it before. That'll be cool to witness. On the other end, I love a good party pooper. I wouldn't be mad at Saquon and Jalen Hurts going crazy, shattering the hearts of Taylor Swift and Kansas City, Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce. I wouldn't be mad at that as well. But when it comes to Kansas City, you got to show me you can beat them at the Super Bowl. The only person who ever did it at the Super Bowl was Tom Brady, and I believe he's announcing the game. You can't call him down to do it for you. Eagles got to go out there and do it, but you got to show me. So I got the Kansas City Chiefs going 3 straight. That's my prediction. You got to show me it. As of right now, I got Kansas City. You got to show me it. Saquon, can you put the team on your back and go crazy? Jalen Hurts, can you remain calm and relax and make things happen? Eagles defense, can you remain disciplined? It was close last time y'all met. It was close. Don't let this one be a blowout. Don't let Kansas City just come out and just obliterate y'all and be like, damn, well, they got 3 straight. I'm not on the side of I'm tired of Kansas. Like, I understand people tired of them, but I'm on the side of the team's got to beat Kansas City. Buffalo Bills, you got to beat Kansas City. Baltimore, if y'all can get a chance again, it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that Baltimore is going to face Buffalo again next year in the playoffs for a chance to face the Kansas City Chiefs. None of this is guaranteed. None of this is guaranteed. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, them probably looking at it like, it ain't guaranteed we're going to be back here next year. It wasn't guaranteed this year. It's not guaranteed. Shout out to Andy Reid, too. He the winningest coach in the Kansas City Chiefs history and the Philadelphia Eagles history. Shout out to Andy Reid. There's a reason why those guys are chasing a dynasty right now. There's a reason why they're chasing 4 championships in about 5-6 years. There's a reason why they're doing that. The ball got to get kicked off. You got to win, man. So, like I said, Super Bowl 59, I got the Kansas City Chiefs defeating the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, we got the halftime show, Kendrick Lamar. SZA is supposed to come out. We'll see what other surprises he got up his sleeve. But for Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, like I said before, Dynasty on the line, quieting your doubters on the line. Saquon Barkley can probably finish off the greatest season for a running back. After already having 2,000 yards, can he go crazy with the lights of the brightest? I'll be tuned in to watch it. So once again, this is episode 275. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you guys go out, have a great work week, a great school week. Stay safe, be mindful of your surroundings. Drink plenty of water, man. Mind your business, stay prayed up, stack your money. Do all that. If you're traveling, be aware of your surroundings. Shout out to my ladies. I saw Beyonce announce a tour is coming very soon, so I know y'all getting y'all pockets ready for that. Me personally, when it comes to touring this year, I'm talking about music more probably next week because we did get the Larry June 2 Chainz announcement and all that. But in terms of tour, to be honest with y'all, the only person or only group I'm looking forward to seeing live this year is Jagged Edge. If I'm being completely 1,000% honest with y'all, I'm looking forward to that Jagged Edge announcement. That's why I'm at this year when it comes to tour. I'm looking for Jagged Edge. Now, like I said, y'all be safe though, man. Keep me in your prayers, and I do the same for y'all. Salute.